Let's do it.
Then, good luck.
Okay, so sorry I haven't had any commentary in my videos for a while. I guess I just wasn't in the mood for it, but I just want to tell you guys about this game a little bit. I didn't play part 1, so I'm pretty much
Just me?
clueless on what is going on in this game. But so far I am very frustrated with the game. The controls are not fluent at all. Even in exploration mode, it's just not. It shouldn't be like that. I mean, I don't see how people can make a open world game and the loading on it is just randomly load. It's ridiculous. So, but you know, going back onto the controls, the jump doesn't always jump when you tell it to jump. You get stuck on an invisible wall sometimes, and it's just crazy. In the combat, there's an auto lock on.
What's this?
But it locks on to like the worst first target for you, but you can cycle through it with the right analog stick if you're playing on the console version. But I was playing with the mouse and keyboard, but I switched to the controller because, you know, I felt a little bit more comfortable that way. But the combat itself, you have to fight with the controls to get everything going your way. If you notice, when I use the bow and arrow, when you aim and shoot, he'll do like a complete stop and aim before you can actually move around. So when you have enemies that just keep on charging at you, so that is really a big disadvantage when you have to do that. It's even worse when you're trying to cast magic, because when you cast magic, it's like there's no lock on to the enemies like the melee or the ranged weapon. So if you're running backwards and then you press it to cast a spell, he'll do like a 180 spin. You'll see what I mean when I start using it.
What are you doing here? Are you giving up?
I've beaten you, just as you asked.
I'm sorry, but I can't allow my people to be led by someone so irresponsible. I'd rather die.
I'm not gonna fight you, Alton.
I'm not giving you a choice.
I'm not gonna kill you.
You're going to have to.
You'll resume trading with Alima and her people, and you'll be compensated accordingly. As long as you do this, you can continue leading your people.
Our supplies are minimal at best because of our limited access to a cheap source of fresh water.
Now you're talking like a competent leader. If there's a water source in the area, I'll find it.
That would be great.
But in return, Halhin needs to resume trading with Bayan. Do we have an agreement?
Yes, I think so. I don't believe you can find a solution, but maybe I'm wrong.
You are. We'll talk later.
Wait a moment. I'll open the village gate just in case. Don't be surprised if you're not welcomed with open arms. The majority of Halhin doesn't take kindly to outsiders.
Also, when you're trying to mount on your horse, you have to fight with the control as well, because you know you can't just run up to it and press A and hop on it, but it, I don't know, it disappears. See, the icon disappears and you end up having to jump before you get on your horse. So you kind of have to like go to your horse and stop for a second and make sure that the icon is there for you to hop on the horse. But I played a little bit further than this. I didn't record my narration while I was playing. So, but also the enemies that they have in this game, I'm not sure if they scale to your level or not, but there's no way for you to tell what level they are, because you'll run in and you think you can fight the enemy, and all of a sudden you get hit twice and you're dead. Sometimes even once. The giant ants, they're ridiculous right now. My weapons are pretty weak actually, but I don't know, it's just I thought this game would be a lot more fluent to play with, but it's not at all. It's just you have to fight with the control. Once you get used to the control, then it becomes a little...
Excuse me, but would it be too impolite for me to ask you to leave?
I apologize. Didn't mean to interrupt. I was simply curious.
Curious? Well, I couldn't possibly dissuade a fellow naturalist from marveling at such fascinating creatures.
I'm sorry. What creatures?
Termites, of course. Quite magnificent creatures, really. For example, could you imagine being able to carry your own body weight? Without magic, of course, and that's just the beginning. I'm currently in the middle of an enthralling study investigating the water capacity of termite mounds.
I'm sure it is.
I could go on for days, but I have work to do. You can stay if you like, but I really must concentrate on my research.
Oh, that's too bad.
Well, I suppose I can always take time to compare notes with a fellow entomologist. Did you know that their mounds can reach up to 5 times the height of a human? That's nearly 3 orcs or 12 dwarves. And they can survive in nearly any condition, even this drought. They extract water from the roots of the trees.
Listen, I didn't really...
Right, I understand. You've probably discovered all of this for yourself. But if you're interested, I brought several copies of my new book with me. We can talk about it later if you like.
Later sounds fine. I'll need some time to reflect on everything you've said.
Yeah, once you get used to the controls, it becomes a little easier to fool around. You'll be able to judge your distance a little bit better. As far as melee go, when you're meleeing, the block doesn't work like you think. It's crazy. Because when you try to block, it doesn't even block sometimes. So you have to like stand still and make sure your character go into that motion for the block. You kind of have to watch it. And another thing that's really messed up, there you go again, the damn horse, I can't even get on it. It's basically the camera view when you're in combat. It's so crazy. You'll see later on, it's just, I don't know, the camera view doesn't help you at all. It makes things worse when you're in combat. So there are a lot of things that I don't like about this game. When I was playing through this part right here, I was like, you know, I wanted to quit so many times from playing it because of the random loading. You know, you'll ride on the horse for like maybe 2 to 3 seconds, they'll load again, and then another 5-10 seconds they'll load again. I mean, this thing is worse than Oblivion. At least Oblivion doesn't load quite as often. I still, like I said, I still don't know that much about this game. Like right here, I could actually activate the quest, but you know, I haven't really played around, looking around with it. So at this point, I really didn't know that I can do that. But yeah, there's all kinds of, you know, neat things in this game. I'm not gonna lie to you. It could be a very, very fun game, but you know, if you can overlook the small issues of the game, then it could be a pretty fun game for you. But it's just too much for me. I could ignore the loading a little bit, but you know, since the combat sucks as well, it's just I don't think this game is even worth playing anymore. So I don't even know if I'm even gonna continue playing this game. But we'll see though. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just I don't know what else to say. I guess you have to experience it yourself, or maybe, you know, if you notice some things, then it'll be all right. But as of right now, I didn't level up any of my little trait skills like general skills, warrior skills, and stuff like that right now. So, like I said, I didn't know that I could do that. But anyway, if you don't do that, you know, when you block, you actually take in 100% damage. But there's a skill, you know, to take less damage when you block.
Welcome. Welcome.
Listen, can't you smell that?
The fish? This is a pier, you know.
I'm not talking about the fish.
How can one love food and not appreciate the aroma of its raw ingredients?
While I love a good steak.
Well, do you care for trivia? Here's one I like. It is found in the savannah. Some called it desert rice. Can you guess?
Let me guess. Termites?